Hello, today I just wanted to give you a commentary all about the subject of kingdom citizens. Now, it is a strange combination which heads to meditation. Now, case in point, Pharisees and the Herodians do not go together, if you will. The two parties are essentially different from each other. We're talking about arch enemies, even. The one party rivals the other, and normally they would not be on speaking terms, yet they are holding counsel together. The Pharisees form the most absolute, strict party of the law in Judea. They rejected and despised all Roman rule and authority, yet they cooperated with the Romans in order to preserve their own position amongst Israel. The politics of the powerless. Still, the Pharisees saw the cooperation with the Romans as being only a temporary thing for the Pharisees that had a strong expectation concerning the Messiah King who would save Israel from all of the enemies and restore the kingdom of David. This was taken from ChristianStudyLibrary.org, if you will. Now, the Pharisees know exactly where the Messiah will be born in Matthew 2:6 because many of the scribes were members of the Pharisee party. So we have a party that is directed fully to the coming of the Messiah. The great king is coming. While the Herodians also saw the good of Israel, when their hope is based completely on the house of Herod, the Elamite. After all, the house of Herod had converted to the Jewish faith, was related to Israel, and was to be preferred above the hated Romans. Had Herod the Great not seen to it that not all parts of the Holy Land had come under direct Roman occupation, Herod had ensured some measure of self rule, so the Herodians were dedicated to keeping Herod and the son on the throne. The Herodian party was an influential one, containing many Sadducees and scribes. The party of the Pharisees was much smaller. Now, the Pharisees formed a fanatical anti-Roman, anti-Herodian party and would not accept any compromise. They preached the coming of the king and were interested in signs that were only pointing to the coming. That's the reason why many Pharisees went to see John the Baptist. When the Herodians do not believe in such things, they have the king already. They have satisfied with status quo and would like to see it maintained. I'm talking about totally different parties here. Consequently, you might find this very hard to believe when I read, and the Pharisees held counsel with the Herodians. Well, consequently, they do not each have the time of day when now they must meet together and discuss matters of mutual importance. My question to you is why these two separate parties have suddenly found some unity because they have discovered a common enemy. They buried the hatchet in order to first deal together with another problem. And arch enemies suddenly becomes allies. Strange bedfellows when bedfellows, nevertheless. Their own enemy is Jesus Christ. The Pharisees from Jerusalem have heard of Jesus and have investigated him. In other words, they were trying to go through a complete investigation. When Jesus does not show any messianic qualities or potential, on the contrary, the Pharisees find out that Jesus goes against the teaching and that his lifestyle is not good, horrible. He blasphemes God and eats with sinners and desecrates the Sabbath. This Jesus may incite the multitudes to riot and force the Romans to send in more troops. The Pharisees seize their peace and positions disturbed. And they conclude, this Jesus has got to go. Same with the Herodians too. Also see danger in Jesus. If there is a revolution in northern Palestine, Galilee, the Roman troops may come to a non-occupied territories and force Herod Antipas from his throne. They too want peace to remain. However, the Herodians will agree that Jesus must go. And the Pharisees will have press point you. Herodians must do something in order to stop this Jesus. For after all, the Lord was still in the area governed by Herod. The Herodians must secure Herod's permission and aid to destroy Jesus. So they are conspirating against the Lord. Okay, that's all I have to say for now. So you take good care of yourself and each other. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.